Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Mystic Megan and today we are doing a deep dive into the energy of your chakras. In this reading we will be using a combination of dice and tarot cards to get an idea of the flow of energy in your chakras and if you have any blockages. So take a moment to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And focus in on the column of energy that's going through your spine. Then take a look at these cards and choose whatever card, colors or numbers you are most drawn to. So for pile number 1, we have Azurite with Saturn and Discipline. For pile number 2, we have Turquoise with Earth Element and Perseverance. For pile number 3, we have Flower Agate with Throat Chakra and Expression. And for pile number 4, we have Pyrite with Mars and Momentum. Once you have chosen, you can click down below in the timestamps for your reading. Hi there, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. How this reading is going to work today is after I introduce the card that you have chosen, I will then roll the dice to get an indication of what chakras you have blockages in. Each chakra is represented here by the color of the dice, and an odd number will indicate a blockage. Once we have your blockages, we will then pull tarot cards to dive deeper into why these blockages are occurring and what you can do about removing them. You have chosen the card Azurite with the planet Saturn and the key word of discipline. So what I'm seeing in this card is that, especially with the energy of Saturn, that you have some slow moving energy that kind of feels like you're not actually getting anywhere. You're probably not seeing the results of something as much as you want to by putting in the hard work. Perhaps you're feeling like you have a lack of discipline and this energy is taking away from some of the things that you feel like you should be doing and feel like you should be achieving. Anyway, with that, let's put this card down and roll the dice. So all of the even numbers are the chakras that are currently okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out all of the even numbers and see what we are left with. Okay, so for you guys, we have the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakra. So these are the 3 chakras that you need to be working on. Okay, so I've just rearranged the table so we can fit in some cards. For today's reading, I feel drawn to the Light Seers Tarot. This is a healing deck, so if there are any healing messages, I always want to be using this deck. To start off with, we're just going to pull out 1 card for each of your chakras. Root chakra, what messages do we have for the root chakra? What messages do we have for the sacral chakra? Oh, we have about the solar plexus chakra. There we go. Starting off with the root chakra, let's have a look. This is a really interesting card to come up for the root chakra because it is actually about home. It's about our security, where we find our stability, and generally most people find stability in the home, and this is also represented with the 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups is about stability in the home, and what I'm seeing in particular with this card is that since we're reading it as a blockage, that perhaps your expectations of your family, of your loved ones, just generally your expectations of them haven't really been met, so to speak, that you are constantly hoping for more from them. You have these high expectations of what they can provide you or what they should be providing you. So I'm going to go ahead and actually pull another card for this just to get some more clarification for the root chakra. Clarification, okay, here we have Strength. Okay, so I feel like I'm starting to get a clearer idea of the message now. So I feel like that perhaps you are relying a little bit too much on the people around you, and that you are not taking control and responsibility for yourself, for your own emotions. And it's really up to you to kind of step up to the plate and ask yourself and take charge of the foundations that you create for yourself. Yes, your family has really been there to encourage you and to support you, but I feel like has not really encouraged you to kind of step up and take responsibility for creating the foundations that you truly need for yourself. You need to be able to step away from this support network and believe in yourself and to take control of what it is you want and need. Okay, next one we have is for the sacral chakra, and we did see this card earlier. So we have the Four of Swords. So the sacral chakra represents the emotional body, and what we're seeing here is that there is healing that you need to do on your own. The Four of Swords is really about breaking away from the things that you know and trying to find healing and independence on your own, reflecting and deciding what it is you want and need in your life. And this card is really just validating the messages that we have here with the root chakra. I'm also going to pull another card for this chakra. Let's see what messages we can get as far as what you can do to, really promote this love and healing. So we have the Four of Pentacles. Let's just move this up. So I feel like one of the things that's really holding you back from making these steps away, taking control of your own life, with the physical world or whether it's in the emotional world, I feel like money is something that is holding you back from that. So what you need to be doing is thinking about ways where you can gain more financial independence so that you have the resources to be able to step up by yourself and gain that independence, and move forward into a place where you can create your own emotional space. I really feel like with the sacral chakra especially that you do need your emotional space, even though perhaps you're not feeling a sense of urgency right now because you do have that support from your family. Maybe you don't have that sense of urgency, but that is something you are really in need of, whether you consciously know it or not. Okay, so the next one we are going to move into is the solar plexus chakra. And this represents the core of your identity and where you store your personal power and confidence. Okay, so let's have a look here. So we have the devil, and once again, especially with the symbolism of this puppet on a string down here, I feel like you are giving your power away, and you're not allowing yourself to take responsibility for yourself and for your own situation. Perhaps it's parts of your identity. I'm seeing a bit of a people pleaser. Perhaps you are a people pleaser, and this is what's really holding you back from stepping away from your friends, from your family, and your support network. I feel like you are doing a lot for other people and you are allowing them, and I don't think that these people in particular are negative or manipulative. Like, that's not the energy I'm seeing at all. It's just that you have kind of built up an identity around being a people pleaser, constantly doing things for other people and helping other people, that it's come to a point now where that you do more for other people than you do for yourself. And this is really creating an imbalance in your life, and in your emotional setting as well. Once again, I'm just going to pull one more card for the solar plexus chakra. What messages do we have? Oh, this one here. The 10 of Swords. Okay, so yeah, this is a really clear message. With the 10 of Swords, we need to acknowledge that we can't do everything for everyone all the time, and that you just need to be able to walk away. You're never going to make everyone happy. You're not ever going to live up to the expectations of everyone else, and you should stop putting pressure on yourself to be able to fulfill everyone's wants and needs. A clear indication that you need to draw some boundaries here and start taking care of yourself. Understand that sometimes you do have to walk away from things, that you do have to just surrender and allow things to happen the way that they are happening, and that you can't control anyone. So yeah, I'm just really seeing that you need to be able to learn to walk away from some of these situations that are draining you, and accepting things for what they are. Anyway, pile number 1, that is all of the messages I have here for you today. If you feel drawn to having your own personalized reading, you can do that on my Etsy shop. The link is down below. Of course, if you liked this video, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. How this reading is going to work today is, after I introduce the card that you have chosen, I will then roll the dice to get an indication of the chakras and what blockages you have. Each chakra is represented by the color of the dice, and an odd number will indicate a blockage. Once we have your blockages, I will then pull tarot cards to dive deeper into why those blockages are occurring and what you can do about removing them. You have chosen the card Turquoise with the Earth element and Perseverance. So what I'm seeing with turquoise particularly is that this is a very emotional thing. Whatever is happening in your life right now is connected to your emotional body. With the Earth element, I'm getting the message that it is very much focused on grounding. And because of this grounding or lack of grounding, perhaps this is affecting your ability to persevere and to move forward in the ways that you really want to. Okay, so I'm going to roll the dice now. So let's give this a bit of a shake and see what numbers come up. So the only chakras that we'll need working on in this particular reading are the chakras that come up with odd numbers. So I'm just going to remove the even numbers now and see what we have left. So these are the chakras that you need to be working on. So first we have the sacral chakra, which is representative of the emotional body and emotional harmony, just general peace within ourselves. Then we have the solar plexus chakra, which is representative of your identity, the core of who you are. And last we have the throat chakra, and this is to do with communication and self-expression. Now the other thing I want to point out right now is that you do have 2 ones. So 1 is representative of self. So we can see a lot of focus on yourself, and perhaps there are things that you personally need to work on a deeper level to help remove these blockages. For this reading, I'm going to be using the Light Seers Tarot, and this tarot deck for me is a really healing deck. So whenever we need healing messages, this is the deck I turn to. So let's have a shuffle of the cards, find out some more details about what is going on with these chakras. Have for us about the sacral chakra. beautiful. Throat chakra. Alright, let's start over here with the sacral chakra. And we did see this card before, but yes, we have the Temperance. So what this card is really telling me is that you probably have some really polarizing sides of yourself. I'm really seeing that in the imagery here of the sun and the moon, that there are two polarizing sides of yourself, and perhaps they are constantly in conflict. What I'm also seeing is that perhaps you are less emotionally aware of these two polarizing sides of yourself, and so you are having a bit of trouble perhaps of balancing them out, or being even aware of like when you are swinging from one extreme to another. Temperance is all about balance, and the sacral chakra is also all about balance. So this message is all about creating that balance and creating more emotional awareness of the extremes and the polarizing sides of ourselves. I'm just going to pull another card here to see what you can do, some things that you can do to help balance out this energy. So we have the Four of Cups. So what I'm seeing with the Four of Cups particularly is that the energy in your life right now has been a bit stagnant, that you haven't really had an opportunity to try anything new or to explore yourself in the ways that you need to. And this is the reason why these extremes are happening. I feel like there's a lack of perspective, and that you are really being encouraged to kind of step out of your comfort zone and start experiencing things that perhaps you've been wanting to do for a while, or perhaps you just haven't had the chance to. This card is really telling you that in order to create that balance, you need to experience. You need to place yourself in different situations and be able to connect with different perspectives and ideas. I feel like you're very centered on yourself at the moment, and that you're unable to see the world around you. Alright, so next we are going to move on to the solar plexus chakra, and let's see what we have here. We have the sun. Wow, what incredible energy. Okay, and like literally the solar plexus chakra is fire. So yeah, the sun, it's all about yourself, your identity, the desire, the fire that is in your heart, who you want to be. And I feel like this part of yourself is calling out to you, but perhaps you just haven't had the chance to really listen in and focus in on that energy. Now I'm starting to see that perhaps you have feelings of helplessness, like there is nothing you can do, the things that are happening for you are out of your control, and perhaps they are, but you need to concentrate on the things that you can control, and that is yourself. That is who you are, and how you decide to express yourself, how you decide to shine your light. I'm going to pull another card now to get some more clarifying messages on the solar plexus chakra. Solar plexus chakra, here we are. This one literally just jumped out. The Fool. So you have so many major arcana cards in your reading today, which means that there's a lot of energy swirling around you right now, so keep that in mind. Alright, with the Fool, again, I'm getting this message that you need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to find ways to feel free, to feel inspired, to go on an adventure, allow yourself to dream, not be so worried and concerned about these mundane things in life. The Fool is all about this innocent energy, this energy where you are just innocently and ignorantly going about life and not being disheartened by all of the negative things that are happening around you. I'm seeing that perhaps that you need to go on a holiday, by yourself. I feel like you need to go on an adventure by yourself and start doing things by yourself so that you can wholeheartedly connect with yourself and not have all of these influences that are really dragging you down, that are really preventing you from connecting and expressing yourself. Speaking of self-expression, we are going to be moving over to the throat chakra over here, and let's see what this has to say. So you have so much positive energy around you. That's all I have to say. Okay, so the world. So the world here is really telling you that you need to express yourself. When we express the things that we want and need, they come into our reality. Especially with the world here, I'm seeing here that you have actually a lot of potential to manifest. Whatever you are not speaking about is not happening. Because in order to bring it into the world, you need to speak it. You need to tell your story. You need to communicate to people and let them know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. I think you'll be really surprised about the reactions of people once you start doing this. You have a lot of positive energy around you. We can see this with the major arcana cards. Like, you have so many of them in this reading. It's incredible. So you have a lot of positive energy around you, and you have a lot of potential if you just express yourself. Okay, so the throat chakra, what final messages do we have for the throat chakra? We have the 9 of Wands. Okay, so with the 9 of Wands, this is kind of like a final push card. You are almost where you need to be. This card is really encouraging you to continue with this work that you have been putting in, and especially all of the work that you have going on over here, that you shouldn't lose focus. Perhaps the day-to-day thing can become a bit mundane and boring, but there is a lot of potential and you have a lot of positive energy around you, and if you just stay focused on your goals and the things that you want to achieve, then you will eventually move into a place where this energy is going to be a bit more free-flowing. Even though right now you may be focusing on the mundane things in life, what I can really see is that by shifting your focus on the goal and just by not putting so much energy on these little petty things that happen around you, you are able to balance out your energy and you are able to find more peace in your life and let go again with a full letting go of like these energy and emotions don't need to be in these like petty little things that are happening around you. What you need to be focusing in on is this one goal up here. And so by focusing in on that and letting everything else go, you are going to be in a much stronger position to continue on and clear out the blockages that you are experiencing. Alright, pile number 2, those are all of the messages I have here for you today. If you feel drawn to having a personalized reading with me, you can do that on my Etsy shop. Please check out the link below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. So how this reading is going to work today is after I introduce the first card that you have chosen, I am going to use the dice here to get indication of what kind of energy you have in your chakras and if you have any blockages. Each chakra is represented by the color of the dice, and an odd number will indicate a blockage. Once we have our blockages, I will then pull tarot cards to dive deeper into why those blockages are occurring and what you can do to remove them. So let's begin. So you have chosen the flower agate, throat chakra with expression. So we have a chakra here already, and of course we're talking about the throat chakra, speaking, expressing yourself, communication, and how we interact with the people around us and the people that we choose to surround ourselves with. This can really reflect the kind of person we become. So let's put that down here. We're going to move on to the dice now. So let's give this a bit of a shake and see what we come up with. So the only dice that we're going to be looking at today are the odd numbers. These are your blockages. So I'm just going to remove any even numbers that we have and have a closer look at the chakras represented by the odd numbers. Okay, so these are the chakras that we are going to look in today. First we have the root chakra, then we have the heart chakra, and last we have the crown chakra. Okay, so the deck that I am going to use for today's reading is the Light Seers Tarot, which for me is a really healing tarot. So if we want healing and assuring messages, this is the deck I always turn to. Let's first pull a card for each of these chakras. Root chakra, what do we have? Oh, this one is calling out to me. Okay, the heart chakra, what messages do we have for the heart chakra? This one, what do we have? Ooh, this one here. Okay, first we're going to start over here with the root chakra. Let's see what we have here. Okay, the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands, as you can see here, is kind of reaching up, trying to compete against other people and trying to attain something. So this is telling me that perhaps you are trying to reach for things that you're not ready for. The root chakra is all about finding that grounding. There's no point trying to build something on top of unstable foundation. I feel like at the moment you are really you're trying to force something, or you're trying to build something on something that is not ready to be built on. There's a lot more work that needs to go into your foundations, into grounding. This could have something to do with family as well. So the root chakra can also be connected with our ancestors, as well as our relatives, even our relatives who are living. So perhaps there are some things that have happened in previous generations that are really that are still affecting you and your family and your ability to ground yourself and create a solid foundation. So I'm just going to pull another card for the root chakra to see what kinds of things you can do to work on clearing this energy. Okay, here we have the Ace of Wands. With the Ace of Wands, I'm seeing that there is not only a new way of kind of perceiving the situation, but you need to do something differently. Perhaps you and your ancestors and your family are doing things the same way they have been for years and years and years, and this is not working anymore. So you need to be thinking of new practical solutions to these problems that are relevant to today, relevant to the times. These attitudes and actions that you are currently using are outdated and they're not really helping you anymore. I really see this more as an evolutionary thing where you are the basis of some sort of evolution and change that will be happening in future generations. So your job really right now is to focus on that grounding and not to reach up too high, and find practical solutions to the problems that you have today. You will be able to reach your goal. You just need to put those foundations in first and not bite off more than you can chew. Okay, so next we are moving into the heart chakra. What do we have here? So we have the Three of Pentacles. So I see that with the Three of Pentacles, your heart is really wanting to work together with people, and this again could be your family. I feel like you want to achieve is a really compassionate community, something that is inclusive and where people work together. For the Three of Pentacles, we are looking at a connection that is more practical, where people are actively working together, being compassionate to each other in a way that is going to be create things in the material world. So for example, if this was the Three of Cups, we would know that you would be focusing more on the emotional world, but with the Three of Pentacles, we are seeing that this is about practicality. This is about creating financial stability and creating a physical environment where people are working together and they are able to contribute to this situation in their own way, and that every single person is included. So let's pull out another card to get some more clarification about how you can manifest and create this. How we can create this. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, we have another Pentacles here. So your heart is definitely focused on the creating financial and material security. That is where your heart is focused right now, and perhaps this is something that is not really aligning for you, which is why it's a bit of a blockage. With the Seven of Pentacles, we are seeing that this guy is manifesting, he is creating, and that you, even though you can't see everything that is working underneath, continue working, continue wanting, continue dreaming, continue focusing your energy in on this thing, because deep down in the ground the roots are there and it just needs a little bit more time to grow. So what you're being called to do right now is to just continue focusing your energy. Perhaps you haven't been doing that. So what you are being guided to do, if you haven't been doing this already, is to focus in your energy on this dream, on this goal, because there are things that are working in the background, that are working that you cannot see, and only by putting more intention and more focus into this thing, we are able to help it manifest. So next we are moving on to the third eye chakra, and I just realized that I think maybe I called it the crown chakra early in the video. This is actually the third eye chakra. So let's have a look at this card here. We have the Wheel of Fortune, which is really interesting for the third eye chakra, because the third eye chakra is about the connection with the universe. And actually I'm just seeing some dice here, which is really cool because that's really working in well with this reading and I guess how I'm reading the cards right now. The third eye chakra is about your connection with spirit. It's about visions. It's about seeing the bigger picture. And the Wheel of Fortune really speaks to things that happen that are out of our control, as well as opportunities that may arise that we didn't see coming. This really works well with the Seven of Pentacles and what I was just saying about manifesting and about creating. Then you have a very strong connection with the universe and you are able to manifest and you are able to create. Even if you're not seeing the results of all of this work and this manifesting and creating right now, there will be opportunities in the future where you will receive signs. So perhaps you're not really open up to these signs right now, that's what we're seeing for the third eye chakra, is that we want to be clearing our mind to be open to the signs of spirit, open to the signs of the universe, and be open to the opportunities that the universe is providing us, and to clear out any negative thoughts we have about, or doubts we have about the universe and how it's supporting you. Alright, one last card for the third eye chakra. Third eye chakra, what do we have? We have the Six of Swords. Okay, so with the Six of Swords, we are seeing a journey, and along with the Wheel of Fortune, there is going to be someone. Now, I'm not 100% clear if this something is going to be the universe or if it's going to be a physical person, but you need to be looking out for something that is going to point you in the right direction. So the Six of Swords is all about a journey and being assisted on that journey, being guided and being supported. So this may be a person, or this may be signs from the universe, which I'm feeling like, because it is about the third eye chakra, that this is probably mostly the case. Perhaps there are going to be people on the way that are going to help you. Perhaps the universe will lead you to people to help you at certain points of the journey. But for the most part, this is telling me that the journey you're about to embark on is supported by the universe, and you are going to get signs and directions from the universe so that you know where you're going. It's just really a matter of opening your third eye chakra, doing meditation, doing any kind of spell work or any spiritual practice that you feel like resonates with you. You need to be doing this. This is going to really help you focus in your third eye chakra, connect to the universe, and receive the messages that the universe is sending you. Anyway, pile number 3, that is your reading for today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, pile number 4, and welcome to your reading. How this reading is going to work today is, after I introduce your card that you have chosen, I will then roll the dice to get an indication of what chakras have blockages. Each chakra is represented by the color of the dice, and an odd number will indicate a blockage. Once we have our blockages, I will then pull tarot cards to dive deeper into why those blockages are occurring and what you can do about removing them. So you have chosen Pyrite with Mars and Momentum. So with Pyrite, we're seeing that today's reading is going to be about actions and about small, consistent actions towards your goals. Mars as well is quite a fast-moving energy, so perhaps you're looking at expectations about moving quickly and having a lot of momentum behind the things that you are working on. That today's reading is really about actions and focus and continuous movement towards your goals. Alright, let's put this card down here. Next, we are going to move on to the dice, where we are going to give this a bit of a shake and see what numbers come up. Oh, that one's popped out. Okay, so the only numbers we're looking at today are the numbers that are odd. So I'm just going to take a moment to remove any even numbers that we have here, and then we're going to look closer into the odd numbers. So these are the chakras we are going to be looking into today. So for the first one, we have the sacral chakra, then we have the heart chakra, then we have the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. One thing I'm seeing is that we have a lot of 3s, and this is telling me that this reading probably has a lot to do with your environment and the people in particular the people who you surround yourself with. So just keep that in mind as we go through the reading. For the reading today, I am using the Light Seers Tarot, and for me this is a really healing deck. So this is just the deck that we need to use to get healing and encouraging messages from Spirit in order to create alignment and more positivity in our lives. First, I'm going to give this a shuffle. What messages do we have about the sacral chakra? This one here, grab this card here. The third eye chakra, this one jumped out. Round chakra, this one here. So let's start over here with the sacral chakra, and we have the Four of Pentacles. So what I'm seeing here with the Four of Pentacles is that emotionally you're feeling really quite insecure about your material wealth and your material well-being. In particular, I suppose your material security, so about your home, finances, income, that kind of thing. You are experiencing at the moment a lot of insecurity in regards to that. So you are being encouraged to find ways to cut costs and put a few dollars away here and there for in case something happens, in maybe even investing in more material resources, so be that food or anything else you feel like is a necessity in life. For this message in particular, I'm saying that you should be investing at least here and there in a couple of backup things to just soothe that insecurity that you have, and just to find active and practical ways to save money, and to ensure that you have that material security that you feel like you're lacking. Okay, let's get another card for the sacral chakra about what it is you can do to create more security in this particular part of your life. So there's a card poking out here. We have the Chariot. So with the Chariot, we're looking at quite fast moving energy and changes. So the Chariot can sometimes mean a journey, but in this particular situation, I feel like there's some significant changes that are happening in your life. It kind of doesn't have to be a physical journey. It can be an emotional journey as well, or a journey that kind of affects you on a more emotional level. And I feel like there's some sort of changes and journey going on for you right now in order to really set yourself up for these changes, for this journey. Like I do feel like this financial support, this financial security is really important to you. Perhaps you feel like you need to get some more independence and kind of move on to the next part of your life by yourself, not necessarily being supported by somebody, and being able to steer your own ship in the direction that you want to go. Next, we're going to move over to the heart chakra here. So let's have a look. We have the Three of Pentacles. This card actually came up in the pile before yours. So if you have been watching the video previously, then this is your confirmation that these messages are for you. Anyway, with the Three of Pentacles, with the heart chakra, we are looking at working together with people and finding something that works on a practical level. So if, like I mentioned in the other pile, if this was like the Three of Cups, we would be looking at an emotional thing. But with the Three of Pentacles, we are looking at practical and things that work in the material world, where everyone has their own unique skills and contributions to the situation or to your life or to your family, whatever this might be talking about. Maybe this is your work as well. Your heart is really looking for creating that security, creating that cohesive team where everybody's really working together for the same goal. Anyway, I'm going to pull out one more card to see if we can get some more clarification about this, about the heart chakra. Okay, we have a card sticking out here, and we have the 8 of Swords. So with the 8 of Swords, we're looking at restrictions, and we're looking at, in particular, self-restrictions. So there are parts of yourself that you are hiding, and you are stopping yourself from expressing and sharing with others. And I think this is the most important part of creating this team, because perhaps everyone around you is contributing their heart and soul to this situation, but you don't feel like you can. And maybe you're scared. Maybe there's things that are from the outside contributing to why you aren't able to really come into your own. But for the most part, I'm really seeing that perhaps there's this inner dialogue going on that is really convincing you that you need to hold back and that you need to hide parts of yourself. And it's with really opening yourself up, you are able to kind of free this energy a little bit and create more alignment with your heart chakra. Okay, next we're looking at the 3rd eye chakra, and we have the 8 of Cups. And I feel like this is really confirming the messages of the 8 of Swords, that there are things that you need to walk away from in regards to perhaps your thought patterns, that there are things that you need to leave behind, because these things that you hold on to are actually stopping you from receiving the messages that the universe is trying to communicate to you. And there is a higher self that you need to start walking towards. You need to embrace this idea of your connection with the universe so that you can start walking towards the light over here, walking towards the person you want to be, and walking towards your alignment. Because I feel like the universe is going to really support you if you do this. Let's get one more message for the 3rd eye chakra here. What do we have for the 3rd eye chakra? What messages? Oh, this one is sticking out. We have the Emperor. So yeah, again, I feel like it's about taking ownership. The Emperor is very logical. The Emperor is somebody who doesn't necessarily cling on to the emotions, and he's able to separate his emotional state from the logical decisions that need to be made in order for him to rule his kingdom. And I feel like this is the attitude that you kind of really need to tap into when it comes to your 3rd eye chakra. Yes, you have emotions, but your emotional reactions are based on traumas that you've had in the past that are no longer serving you now. You have moved past that, and it's time to really look at those traumas and let go of them so that you can strategically place yourself in the right situations so that you can move forward and step into your power. I'm also really looking at this chess piece, so I do feel like there's a very strategic side to this particular card, because you need to be able to analyze what is serving you, what is not serving you, and decide where you are going to place yourself in relation to that. Chess is all a strategic game, and by knowing what is on the board and where we currently are on the board, we can think about where we want to place ourselves for the next step and how we're going to achieve the final goal. Not to say that you will always necessarily achieve your final goal, but this kind of logical thinking is going to help you at least move on to the next step. And once you have moved to that next step, you are able to reassess the situation and move on to the next step from there. So next we have the crown chakra. Let's have a look here. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is telling me that there are going to be opportunities in the future, or even in the near future, for you to take advantage of. Once again, what I was saying with the Emperor is that, like, the only move you can plan is your next move, and that you don't know what's going to happen after that next move. As long as you have this logical thinking, this planning, and this emotional awareness, you are able to take control of any of the things that happen with the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune does tell me that there are going to be things that come up and that are going to be a part of creating you as you are meant to be. So whatever happens in the future, you are really encouraged to really let go of everything that you have experienced in the past in order to allow for this opportunity of alignment and enlightenment is the word that I'm looking for here. The Wheel of Fortune is going to throw something at you, whether it's positive or negative, I do not know, and I'm going to pull one more extra card to see what the universe has to say. Alright, so we have the Four of Cups. So with the Four of Cups, we are really getting blockages in your perspective. You're feeling really quite unsatisfied, and this is creating a blockage in your crown chakra. And what I'm also seeing with numerology, we have the 4 for the Emperor and 4 for the Cups, is that number 4s are builders and creators. For you, I feel like you need to do more creating. Perhaps you have sat back and allowed other people to take control of your life or certain situations, but you are really being encouraged with the number 4 to start building and creating your own thing the way that you want it. You're currently unsatisfied with the way things are, and perhaps you are avoiding taking responsibility, but this is really creating a significant blockage in your crown chakra. So you are really being encouraged to start building things, start creating things, even if you just start with something small. Have a few creative projects going on so that you can kind of get the flow happening in your life, in your energy. Anyway, pile number 4, that is all of the messages I have here for you today. If you enjoyed this reading, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.